Let's talk about uni.
Are you wondering if university is right for you?
Is it worth it? Maybe you think you're not good enough or worried about fitting in.
Maybe you're concerned about money or overwhelmed by the application process.
What's holding you back?
Let's talk about uni.
This podcast is dedicated to sharing real student experiences.
We'll be joined by students at Welsh universities who will be sharing their personal stories.
We'll be digging into all the thoughts and feelings that might be holding you back and set you up for making the right choices.
In this episode, we look at the social side of things and fitting into student life. After all, being at university is more than just about academic life.
But living at home, it made me act like an older adult than I was. So I'd probably advise people to go into dorms and move out.
You only get to do Freshers Week once, so it was something I'll always remember, and it was a big part of my first uni experience.
I had absolutely no regrets. I didn't go to uni when I was younger. I would not have been ready.
I'm Stefan Leonard and I've just finished my 3-year course at Cardiff University doing Welsh and journalism, and joining me today is David Adams from Bangor University, Alexis Richards from the University of South Wales and Megan Wynne-Jones from Aberystwyth University. So let's start with all of the introductions. Thanks for coming today. Let's start with you, Megan.
Hi, my name's Megan Wynne-Jones. I live in Cardiff. I'm 20 and I'm going into my 3rd year of studying veterinary medicine in a joint degree between Aberystwyth and the Royal Veterinary College.
David?
Hi everyone, I'm David. I'm 32 years old. I'm a mature student from Maidstone in Kent, and I'm studying English language for TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language at Bangor University.
And then Alexis.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm 25. I'm currently in my 3rd year now in September, and I'm studying business management with events management on the side.
Lovely. So let's start right at the beginning. What were those first few steps in your university life like? Maybe we'll start with you, David.
Exciting, really, because I worked for 10 years before and thought I wanted to change direction. So I wanted to travel the world and teach English. So I needed a degree for that. So I thought I'll apply to university. So I got there, moved into the halls, which are really nice there. And there were loads of events on throughout the week, like welcome to school, welcome to class and everything. And everyone was really nice.
Alexis, what about you? A similar kind of experience?
Yeah, so mine was quite similar. I worked for sort of 8 years before going back to uni, and all my friends had done it as soon as we left school. So I felt kind of a little bit like the odd one out, and like I was a bit delayed, but I'm glad I chose it at this time because I felt like I actually knew what I wanted to do. So I'm glad I waited this time.
And then you, Megan?
I had a bit of a different experience and similar in the sense I went straight into university from doing my A-levels, which was very daunting and a bit of a shock. But yeah, the first week was dedicated pretty much to social events and freshers' fairs, getting all those free pens and walking around campus and getting grasp of the area, and meeting societies was the big thing I remember in the first year, and meeting flatmates and things like that.
So let's move on now to something I'm sure David wants to talk about. Freshers Week. It's a pretty notorious aspect of university life. You know, you're either really looking forward to it. Some people might dread Freshers Week. What were your expectations of Freshers Week, and what did you think it would be like, and what was that experience of going to a Freshers Week?
Everyone thinks of Freshers as maybe everyone's out partying and getting drunk, but what I was actually looking forward to the most about Freshers was the Freshers Fair, because Bangor does all the sports and the societies, they're all free to join. So I was like a kid in a sweet shop there, signing up for every trial session, all these taster sessions, and getting all their free pens, as Megan said, and all their food that they were trying to lure you in with. So I was looking forward to that, and I was penciling in my calendar when I can do these trial sessions and everything. And then you've obviously got to get your feet, so you've got to try and have a look at the local nightlife, see what it's about. So I went out for a few days, and then everyone sort of branched off. I did feel a little bit older in the club, but there's other mature students there, and there's international students that you can meet up, and they're generally a bit older as well. So yeah, it was quite good. And then I enjoyed the sessions that the university put on, where you get to meet your lecturers and your course mates and things. So yeah, it was maybe a bit drinking the first few days, and then it just died down.
Yeah, I think as someone who went straight from, sixth form into university, I felt like it was quite important to me in terms of going to Freshers Week, making new friends, joining new societies, and I'm sure it was the same for you as well. It was just an easy way to meet people who had similar interests to you, because sometimes maybe the people you're living in accommodation with perhaps aren't your type of people, or don't have the same interests as you. So to me, it was really important because I got to meet people who are like-minded. I don't know if that's how you felt, Megan.
Yeah, I remember speaking to my flatmates for the first time, and it's very funny. The same questions get asked: where are you from? What are you studying? Very repetitive, but it's a formality that you get used to. I remember the biggest problem was what stashes to buy at the start. So which events do you buy tickets on, things like that, which personally I think was blown completely out of proportion. That's the main concern I had, was will I be left out of anything? And then when we got there, practically everyone else had the same problem, and no one had bought any stashes. And then if you did want to go to an event, they were never sold out, so you just got them there and then when you got to uni. Societies, the Wednesday night sports socials, I remember my first one with netball, and that's when I met people like-minded, like you said, and I really got to find like my community. And there's a society for everyone of all interests. I even was a big participant in the Welsh Society in Aberystwyth, and those were definitely my crew then for the first year. You only get to do Freshers Week once, so it was something I'll always remember, and it was a big part of my first uni experience.
So then after a Freshers Week, the first few weeks can be a bit of a whirlwind. You're meeting new people every day. Like you said, Megan, you're having the same conversations possibly every day. What you do, where do you come from, what course you studying. But that aspect of making new friends as well can also be quite hard or quite daunting for a lot of people. What were your experiences in terms of meeting new people, and maybe how did you go about doing that in the best possible way for you?
It's definitely a daunting prospect, especially leaving all your friends at home. And I personally had quite a unique experience in the sense no one that I knew from Cardiff was going to Aberystwyth Uni within my cohort. So I completely had to start from anew. And what I did, in order to make it less daunting, I went on the student room, which is where you meet other applicants for courses and you keep in contact even when everyone's gotten their accepted into the university. So because my veterinary degree is a new degree and there's only 25 of us, I was already added to a Snapchat group chat where I could talk to people and meet people on my course and share worries and talk about, and got me actually quite excited meeting other people. I met up with someone in North Wales when I was staying with my grandparents, Anya, who I sat with then in all my first classes, and so I already knew someone. But yeah, and then in the first year, I could not emphasize enough, you have to just get out of your room and you just got to meet people, and you have to just put yourself out there. It is scary, but you also have to know people outside of your course, so that's not just your world. I found that was the best tip I could probably give to anyone.
That's an important aspect, getting out there, getting to know people. And is that similar to you, David, in terms of you seem to, try to make friends first with the people you were living with, or was it more of a, you were just going out doing different societies and finding friends that way?
Yeah, it was more society-based, really. There's so much scope there to meet people. Everyone's in the same boat. And also on the course, there were some other mature students. We tend to sort of gravitate to each other. I didn't know why, but all the taste sessions were good and all that. I had fun at those. Whether I made friends beyond the society actual dates, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it was a great chance to meet people.
What about you, Alexis?
So I didn't go to uni halls. I'm living in my family home. So for me, it was a case of going up there on my own and just kind of breaking out of my comfort zone. A lot of my friends are work friends, so we all have that similarity of we all work together and we all have the same routine. Whereas for this, it was going to be meeting people of all ages, all backgrounds, and it was just I chucked myself in the deep end and was I got to make friends somehow. And we're all still a massive group that we were from the first day, and we have a Snapchat group that we all speak on. And yeah, I think I made the right group, and it stuck quite well, and we're all still in the same classes as well.
Did you think that it gave you the opportunity to make friends with a wider range, like a wider variety of people?
I would say so. I like to join a lot of the cultural societies, so kind of like the Japanese one, the Indian one, the Pakistan one, ones like that. So I like to meet people from all around the world and connect with those, and I wouldn't have had a chance to meet these people elsewhere. Bangor's such a small place. You tend to see people on the street quite a lot. You say hello and things like that. Yeah, I've met people that I wouldn't have met if I carried on doing what I was doing otherwise.
Yeah, exactly the same thing as David. There's only one nightclub in Aberystwyth, so we do see exactly the same people every night out. But you meet people of all walks of life, especially Aberystwyth is quite a small university. And again, like emphasising, in order to meet people of all walks of life, you have to get outside of your flat, you have to get outside of your course and join societies. I can't emphasise it enough. That's how I met the majority of my friends currently.
Yeah, I think also I had more free time than I thought I would. I hope my lecturers aren't listening to this, but in first year I had a little bit more free time than I thought I had, so there's more chances to shoehorn in all these different activities that you want to do and societies and clubs, and yeah, that was good.
One of the most daunting things, it was definitely for me, was having to actually look after myself for the first time, having to cook, having to, wash my clothes by myself. What was it like moving away from home broadly? And, if you did feel like it was the first experience of living by yourself, maybe you can add to that as well. If I start with you, Megan.
Personally, I found it very scary moving away from home, coming straight from A-levels, especially when I joined university, no one else was there. Our course started 2 weeks earlier. So when I say Freshers Week, I mean 3 weeks in. And it was like a zombie apocalypse. No one was there. It was a adrenaline dump, which was a bit disappointing. But what was easier for me, I went to a couple open days in Aberystwyth and I went to visit there and look around campus. So I had my bearings, especially where you do your laundry. I found quite important. I can't emphasize bring a washing basket with you to university. It will be your lifeline. And yeah, especially the fact that I didn't have a car with me. So I had to go up on a very long route on the train to get back to Cardiff, which was around 6 hours long. So for the first term, I just stayed put. And I know other people had different experiences, but it's completely normal to feel homesick. And I just stayed put in university for the entire term. And it worked for me. But I know others who had success by just going home a couple of times. But in order to be stubborn, I kind of just stayed there, even if I did miss home. Another tip would be with my room, I didn't bring too much stuff and I brought a couple of plants. I made it quite homely because you will be spending a lot, if not the majority of your time in your room alone, and that can be really scary being alone like that, and I found that quite tough. But because my room was quite homely, it was quite a safe space, so that's how I decided to cope with it, and I'm still in university, so something was right, it worked.
I think you made a great point there in terms of everyone deals with it differently and everyone's experience in terms of moving away from home is going to be different. So, don't feel like you're the only one that feels a certain something about moving away, because everyone's in the same boat as you. But Alexis, you had a slightly different experience. You decided you'd want to live at home during university. What was that kind of experience like?
Definitely different. When people talk about their party life, it's not the same when you come home to your mum and your dogs. So I think for me, it kind of made me grow up a bit quicker. Like I have to be an adult in my house because I was living with another adult. So it was like, come on now, you're 25, you're an adult, like you're in uni and work. So I think in my second year then, I kind of became a bit of a child, like a bit younger. And I think you need to do it. Like, I would say that you will probably get it. Freshers Week is your week to kind of do what you want and get away with it. And I think I learned that in my second year. But living at home, it made me act like an older adult than I was. So I probably advise people to go into dorms and move out.
David, well, Have you lived away from Maidstone before? Did you know much about Wales before you came? What was that entire experience like?
I've lived alone before, so that was fine. It was only really probably circumstances that made it difficult because before uni I lost my dad, so I left my mum at home. But we're a connected modern world, so I could keep in touch with her. I hadn't been up to North Wales before. I did for the open day because I wanted to check out the course taster and the accommodation. And I like the facilities there. It was really great. The only thing you have to get used to in the halls is the amount of traffic cones that randomly appear. That never happened in my home before.
I think the traffic cone is a staple of every university, maybe. Being at university also, we've touched on it a little bit. It means a lot of new things, a lot of new exciting things as well. But it can also be a hard time for you individually, as we've said. You could be by yourself a lot for the first time. You're moving away from home. So it's really important for you to, look after yourself, mentally while you go to university. What were your experiences? What were your own ways to an extent of making sure that you were looking after yourself whilst taking this massive leap into a new experience?
Well, I was quite lucky. Next year, in September actually, I'm moving university because it's a joint degree. It's 2 years in Aberystwyth, 3 years in London, and I'm moving from a catered hall to one with a kitchen, which is very terrifying. So I have to stop eating pot noodles, I think, and actually cook. So I'm not really one to talk when it comes to looking after myself because I've been having a catered hall for 2 years. But otherwise, when it comes to looking after myself, I'd say my main thing that I struggled with was being homesick, especially with the fact that I was being stubborn and staying in university for the entire term and not going on the train back home every now and again. And what I did was I just spoke quite openly to other people and found it's completely normal to feel that way. And speaking to other students in my flat, in societies, on my course, I didn't have much free time to myself. So it was a 9 through to 5, just lectures non-stop, 5 days a week, from in Freshers Week as well, which was brutal. That was quite a big distraction. But I did become homesick a couple of times and I just vented to other people who had the same feelings as me. And I also called home. There's no shame in calling home and just talking to family and friends. Also, I never reached out to any helplines or anything, but I know every university, I know Aberystwyth had one, which was a helpline that you could call and you could get counselling, or you could, if you were struggling with your mental health, and there's always someone to talk to. And every university has some sort of system. You just have to Google it and you'd find it.
That's the important aspect, isn't it? It's not being afraid to ask where the help is as well, because I was talking to some of my friends the other day and we were like, I'm not quite sure where I would go if I wanted to have counselling. But the thing is, we all know that we have people we can ask for it. There's your personal tutors. They're always there to answer your questions. So I think it's just not being afraid to ask. And Alexis, let's hear your experience about well-being, looking after yourself, doing your first few steps at university.
I think my biggest thing was not being too hard on myself because it was a massive change. So obviously in my old job, I was very used to knowing everything and being kind of the one who trained everybody. Whereas when I went to university, I was quite hard on myself in the first couple of weeks about not understanding it. But it's learning that it's not shameful to not get it, and it's not bad to ask for help and say, like, I don't understand, or can you go over it? So I think the biggest thing for me was just admitting, like, it's okay to not get it. And it doesn't mean anything bad on you. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be in uni, because I went through a lot of time where it was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be, maybe I've passed my time. This also reminded myself there's no set limit. And I very much needed to keep reminding myself. And I think that's what a lot of turn off is for older people going to university, is it past my time? And it's not. And I think it is more shown now that it's okay to just be like, I don't get it. I'm going to try again. I'm going to do a different way. And there's so many different routes to try. And each lecturer has their own way of teaching anyway. So it's finding which one works for you too.
Yeah, that's completely true. And is that something you felt as well, David?
Yeah, I think in a way, I think being older kind of works for me because I can have a bit more of a personal relationship with the lecturers, and you can tend to have more of a conversation with them. And Bangor has like helplines where you can call if you need to, but they are there to help you. But the career I want to do is going to be based around being away from home for a long time. So this is almost sort of a little trial for that. You also get welcomed by the peer guides when you come in from your school, and they'll take you round, they'll show you where this and that is, and you find out the supermarkets when they put like the yellow stickers on things, and you can get the cheap meals and stuff, and as long as you can cook it, it's fine. Yeah, I feel that I fitted in really well academically and everything. Socially, it was a bit more difficult to make friends. I mean, everyone will say hello, but whether they'll invite you for a pint, I'm not too sure, but academically and with the lecturers and everyone who works at the university, I've had a great time so far.
You know what? You've moved on perfectly to what I wanted to talk about next. That kind of sense of fitting in, and you know, there's this image of students that, you know, they're party animals, they're drinking every night, and it could be true sometimes, but not all the time. But is that kind of image something you thought about before going to university, and maybe something you worried about because you felt, you know, I'm not a party animal. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit in drinking every day of the week and being able to go to my lectures. Is that something you kind of thought, oh, I'm not too sure if this is for me because of that?
Yeah, that's definitely there if you want to do that. I know of the rugby lads, certainly in a Welsh uni, are absolutely crazy. And if you want to get involved in those kind of things, but I sort of looked at it that I'm predominantly there for a mission. I'm there to get my degree and to further what I want to do. And anything else, socially, if I make friends along the way, great. If I don't, and I'm still completing the mission that I wanted to do.
I like that. I'm going to start calling anything I do now a mission. When I go to do my Masters in September, it's going to be a mission, a year-long mission. Megan, what about you? Was it something you kind of thought about before going to university?
Yeah, my father went to Aberystwyth and he spoke about Aberystwyth very fondly and the 52 pubs that are there and all the pub crawls I'd be doing, which I definitely jumped on in freshers and the first couple of weeks of university, which I absolutely loved. But your grades then do take a hit. Realistically, you have to find a balance between the two. And I think you can slip up a little bit on that front at the start, but at some point you have to plateau and kind of find what works because your body will shut down at some point with a certain level of alcohol, I found. And a lot of my friends did in Aberystwyth. So you do have to check in on yourself. And I expected to be keeping on that trajectory for the whole of my university career type of thing, just drinking, going out, because I'm quite sociable when I'm at home. But I found myself to be much more of a home bird when I was in university, especially with veterinary medicine. It is such a heavy course. You just can't go out every single night like some other courses can do. And that's something my dad did not tell me. So my expectations were not realistic before going to university. Finding that balance between social, sport was my main one when I talk about having my mission. I wanted to make sure that I had an impact on the sports within the university. And I definitely think I've done that going off now to London. So having that balance between social, sport and academia is really, really important for me personally.
I'm quite social when I'm home anyway. When I go out drinking, it's more cocktails and they're more expensive, so you just can't get drunk on them. So I thought of it being, I need to find a group of people that like cocktails, but also love going to just breakfasts and stuff. So I was a little bit like, oh, they're all very young. They're all going to want to get absolutely drunk all the time. And I've been and done that years ago, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this again. But I found it's just explaining to people and like being honest. So I was quite like, listen, I've been there, done it. Now I'm like the older sister of my group, so they just know I'm not up for it. I find with ours, it's a happy medium of going to the pub on campus is the best way. After lectures, going to the pub on campus.
You obviously went back when you were a little bit older and not when you came from sixth form. Do you wish you'd have kind of gone when you were younger, or do you like this unique experience of going back and being a bit different when you're in university?
I'm glad I didn't go when I was 18 because I would have probably been studying photography and not knowing what to do with it then. And I also feel like I wouldn't have made the same decisions that I've done. So I wouldn't have made the group of friends and been quite focused. So I'm glad I waited. And I advise it to everybody is make sure that you're like set and you're happy. Because I was very like, when I finished my A levels, I was like rushed, like I need to be in uni. But I would advise going to uni. Like I was nearly not going to go. And then it was just like the course, well, the job that I want to be a wedding planner, they need the degree.
I had absolutely no regrets that I didn't go to uni when I was younger. I would not have been ready. I was too immature. I've probably been just following my mates and going to a local uni there, studying a subject that it was a sciencey based subject, which is so far from what I'm doing now. The school that I was at, they gave us laptops in sixth form, and I ended up playing Football Manager and watching films. So I was very immature, and it took me a while to really figure out what I wanted to do. So this is absolutely perfect time for me to go to uni now. I'm a little bit more aware of how life works, I guess, and also I've saved off a little bit of rainy day money over the time I was working in case things go wrong. So yeah, if it doesn't work out, then I can just go back to the career I had. But if not, I've got nothing to lose by taking this shot. So I did get some A-levels, but they weren't perhaps the best ones because I didn't apply myself, and I'll admit that. So I went onto the UCAS website, searched for like degrees in my subject area, and I wrote one email with like, this is who I am, this is how many UCAS points I've got, this is what I want to do, and sent it off to about 30 different unis. And I was saying, what are the chances of me getting in, applying? And some of them were like, oh, you need to do an access course, which is another year. Some of them like foundation year, some of them like apply, see what happens. And yeah, luckily I got 5 offers, which was good. And Bangor were always going to be the first choice. So now I'm on the right track, and I've got nothing to lose, so throw myself into it.
We've talked a little bit about the support that's available in university. Have any of you, had access to support or gone to look where you can have support or know somebody?
Yeah, myself and one of my friends on my course, we've gone to the counselling that's offered, and I've gone and used the advice zone for money advice because at one point I got made redundant during my course. So I had to speak to them about money and making sure that everything was okay and it wouldn't affect my degree or anything. So yeah, there was a hell of a lot of support. People really want to make sure, and my course leaders and personal tutors, they all feel like they know, even though they shouldn't, but they understand.
Yeah, David?
Yeah, they do run sessions on Wednesday afternoons where you can just drop in and have a chat and, I don't know, maybe do a bit, I think it's mindful colouring, or you can just chat about your experiences and things like that. And the academic side, all of our personal tutors and lecturers, they have like office hours, so you can just come in and chat to them even about just social stuff rather than work stuff, and try and build a relationship with the lecturers and the people that are in charge of your education, basically. But if you're sort of feeling that you need a bit of support, try and reach out for it, and it's all confidential. No one's going to stigmatise you for asking for help. So,
and that's what they're there for. That's their job, is to answer your questions and to if not give you that support, to put you on a path to get that support. Yeah, Megan, have you got any experiences?
David touched on it when it comes to the academic side, and although I was aware there were loads of helplines and things like that available, they always made us aware of that fact right at the beginning in lectures, even about the general university policies and steps to take and where to find help, which I found very useful, although I never used it. But I did use my personal tutors. So I went from studying through the medium of Welsh in all my subjects. So that was my main concern going to university, was branching into a different language academically. And I told my lecturers this, and what they did was made sure there was a group of us. There were 4 of us on the course who spoke Welsh and learnt the sciences, which is the most important one, through the medium of Welsh, and gave us a Welsh tutor. So that was really useful, and I found her to be really, really supportive. And whenever I struggled with any lectures because they were completely new terms, scientific terms for me, they translated the PowerPoints and things like that and released a Welsh PowerPoint as well as an English one. And yeah, that's how I used my university for support.
I think we've spoken about a lot there, and I think we've covered a lot of really, really important aspects. But just to finish, I think I just wanted to talk about the experience of going to university in general. If you were to tell someone, this was my university experience, what would it be? If we start with you, perhaps, David?
I think it's great. If you want to go to university, then it's definitely something to think about, whether it's right for you, sort of financially and also career-wise. And it definitely was for me. Bang was my first choice. It's a great place there. You can get on really well academically. The class sizes aren't too big, so you do get a bit of one-to-one interaction with the lecturers a little bit more. All sports societies are free, so you can make friends and try new things and just do anything you want to do. So I've had good times in the societies. Whether I've made friends for life, I'm not sure yet, but I've just finished my first year, so there's 2 more years to go. I'm a bit more experienced in the area and what to do now, and there'll be a whole another group of freshers now that maybe we can take them under their wing. But yeah, I'd say definitely consider university if you think it's worth it for you.
I'm starting to think you've got a job in the marketing team at Bangor, David.
Oh, I might do. Well, I have actually worked a couple of open days for them as well. So I don't know, maybe if they're listening, they might want to slip me.
What about you, Alexis? How would you sum up your university experience?
I would say I've loved it. I'm definitely glad that I waited. I would recommend uni to anyone. It's not just something that if you're academic you can go, or if you're studying science or maths or English then you have to go to uni. It's something for everybody, and it's just a case of like having a little look and working out what your skills are and what your strengths and weaknesses are in work and in life. I feel like I have made friends for life, but there's another year, so I will see how that goes and how many people return in September. I'd recommend it, definitely. And I'd probably say if I was to do it again, I'd probably move out. So there's maybe one thing I would change.
Okay. And then we'll finish with you, Megan.
I completely agree with Alexis and David. Couldn't recommend university enough. And yeah, I think university isn't, as Alexis mentioned, just about the academic. I learned so much about myself from the beginning, about my own independence, moving away from home, as we mentioned earlier, making new friends. I would say I met friends for life, especially that I'm going off to London in September now. I'm going to miss Aberystwyth to bits and all the people there. So I'll definitely be sure to pop back for events and things like that. But yeah, I've learned so much about myself and I couldn't recommend it enough.
Well, I think that's a lovely note to end on. Thank you very much, Alexis, David and Megan, for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Alexis, David and Megan, and thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed listening to our experiences and they've been useful to you. Thanks to everyone who took part. This podcast is part of University Ready, a collection of free resources from universities in Wales designed to help you get started with higher education. Find out more at openlearn.com/university-ready. The link will be posted in the accompanying podcast notes. In the next episode, the subject under discussion will be money, managing finances, and the cost of living. It's a big but important subject, so please join us.
Let's Talk About Uni is a Bengo Media production for University Ready.